host, Kirsten Quinn, Assistant Professor of English here at Community College of Philadelphia. Welcome to the Philadelphia Cultural Forum on CCPTv, Community College of Philadelphia's educational channel. Tonight, I hope that you will join us in welcoming T.S. Hawkins and Z. Morris from Queer to the T Radio. Queer to the T, the #1 queer sound based at Giovanni's Room, provides the LGBTQ community with political commentary, nightlife happenings, and art and cultural events through online radio programming. Its hosts aim to embrace all communities and provide a protected environment to examine the similarities in our differences. Coupled with community initiatives, Queer to the T strives to merge what has been coined gay and heteronormative into the unified category of humanity by addressing many topics with on-air interviews, outreach, and reviews from local and global listenership. Queer to the T is more than a radio show. It is a safe space for queer-identified, gay, lesbian, transgender, straight, and straight allies to convene to discuss concerns and infotainment. Well, here we are.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you.
I am so excited about this because it's something so cutting edge and new. And this is T.S. and this is Z. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Oh, absolutely. We're thrilled that you're here.
Yay.
And we want to hear a lot about what you do, how this started, and the kinds of things that you're involved with, especially culturally.
Okay.
So I wanted to find out from you guys how this all started and where it started.
The beginning.
The beginning.
The beginning. Well, as Z always puts it, it started in Qdoba.
I love that. Started in Qdoba. You got the Q, right?
Got the Q already. Good one. Got one. We sat, I was asked if I wanted to start a radio show. At the time was G-Town Radio.
Okay.
And I was a little hesitant about it because I was like, well, what would the platform be? What would be the purpose? Just to have a show to have a show.
Right.
So I put out some testers out there, like Twitter and Facebook, to see if people would be interested. And people were like, yeah, when's it coming? When can we expect it? Da-da-da-da. And I was like, okay, cool. So I guess I need to get things rolling. So I was like,
no pressure.
No pressure at all. I was like, I need a co-host, I need this, I need that. So at the time I already had a co-host, but due to his scheduling conflict, he had to be released from the project. So again, I was like, I need another co-host, da-da-da-da, and in walks via Facebook anyway, and was like, well, let's meet up and let's discuss, and Qdoba. And there we have it.
That's great. So you guys have used social media from the beginning,
the very beginning,
with the station. How do you use that? I mean, you mentioned Facebook. You have the blog spot. Tell us what that is, what you do with social media.
Well, I mean, it's a way to reach out to all of our audiences, especially the ones that are worldwide. We have, you said last week we hit 17,000 Sunday.
Yeah, wow.
And that's worldwide.
Monday morning. You have a global audience.
We have a global listenership, yes. U.S., U.K., Kenya, Ghana, France, Italy, Uganda, Japan, literally everywhere.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Did you guys start out with that intention, or was it supposed to be localized? How did you manage to do that?
Started it to start it and to fulfill a promise. It was like, okay, you're going to start this. Let's see where it goes. I always kind of go into things with a business mind. I don't believe in hobbies right now.
You're all business.
All business. Vegan and test. All business. It's a good thing. And it kind of,
you need that.
It's actually above us. It's moving so much faster than us, and we're actually trying to catch up with it. And trying to catch up with what our listeners want to hear and how we can be also inclusive, because even though we do talk about things that plague the queer community, we also want to include our allies, because it shouldn't be queer community, straight community. We are one community.
Exactly. You mentioned in your mission statement humanity. And I think that's a really great approach to what you're doing.
And we try to represent the fact that we're on a spectrum of communities.
So it's really not one LGBTQ communities. It's on a spectrum, and we try to represent the diversity within those spectrums, including our allies and the diversity in their spectrums and different things like that.
And people need to learn about the community. I mean, they really need to pay attention to what's going on, because there's so much going on politically right now. Having Congress people who are, openly gay, which hasn't happened before, really.
And a whole party's platform shifting to be welcoming to the LGBTQ community is awesome.
It's a big thing. It's a big thing. It's a big shock, I would imagine, to some people, because, it's a long time in coming.
Yeah.
High time.
Absolutely necessary.
And that's why, I'm happy, with Queer to the T set up and kind of how it fell into place, because, we talk about anything and everything.
Yeah.
Literally.
There are a few limits.
There's very few limits, because we don't have FCC regulations.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
This definitely changes things.
It does, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention our other co-host.
Please, tell us a little about the other people.
Who's a regular. So usually when you tune into Queer to the T, it'll be like, I'm T, M, Z. So technically,
and we didn't plan that at all. When we realized it, we fell out laughing. We were like, what? That is crazy.
It was so great. It was really, really fun. And then we have our hottie correspondent, who's also as well, Javon Williams, and he will, be leaving us to go to California. But that's good, though. That's a good thing. And we have our production assistant, which is Kenya. So we have a big team. And Corey, who's our PR person, and everyone identifies how they identify. We have people who are not even queer or gay are involved in Queer to the T. To bring it to life and bring it to fruition. And that was part of the mission. So
okay. And so, what are the roles that these people take on? You mentioned the hottie role. What did he do?
So we wanted to impact our male listenership, our male-identified folks. And Davon has a way of doing that. When he came on the show, the listenership increased, the dynamics. He has an amazing way of pulling people in a good way.
And phrasing things.
He's
very Shakespearean. That's good. He encourages a lot of tomfoolery, which is really good.
Is always good. It's always fun. I mean, it sounds like you guys have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We're full of shenanigans show.
We really do. Yeah. And, it also helps that, Absolute is one of our sponsors. So, it helps. She said, okay.
You've got big sponsorship now.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's happened so quickly for you guys, at least when I'm looking at the number of programming specials that you guys have had. I mean, it's amazing. Tell us a little bit about some of the different programs, the highlighted programs for you that were really impactful on you guys.
Probably the most popular one was our polyamory show. It's the one that got the most amount of hits on our blog spot as far as responses. I can't say it's the one that got the most listenership, but it definitely, I think, shifted people's mind and say, okay, I'm going to start listening to this show.
Okay.
Whether you're poly or not.
Yeah, right. Can you tell me about that? What the content was of the show?
We had two, right?
Well, no, we were scheduled to have another one, but we couldn't get the same guests back on, and we wanted to do a comparison. But we're scheduled to have another one in a whole different mind frame. But it was just a discussion, an open discussion about what polyamory is and how it's different from being a polygamist, how it's different than plural marriage, how it's just its whole spectrum altogether. And it brought in a lot of different viewpoints. We had a guest on from Atlanta who came on to speak from the poly people of color. And we had some in-house guests who were new to the poly lifestyle, some who had experienced it, quote unquote, for 10 years, 10, 11 years?
Yeah.
And we just kind of let
the discussion affirm it in a way and let it happen.
Yeah. Let it happen.
Yeah.
And it was really good. We got a lot of feedback from it.
Other shows that were particularly fun for you guys to do.
Oh, fun.
Tashawn.
That was a double episode. It was episode 44 and 45.
Okay.
We were treated like royalty.
Yeah.
It was so great. Tashawn Restaurant is owned by Brian Peasy, and it's a Indian fusion restaurant.
Okay. It's on Broad and Catherine.
Okay. It's amazing. The atmosphere, like the chairs and the lounging and the service and the drinks. And he just came in and was like, welcome to my home. This is what I do. And we ate from foods from like all over India. And it was,
he took us to the kitchen. We saw how they prepare the food.
Okay.
We went from appetizers to main course to dessert to drinks. Everything.
It was really good. The tandoors, I think that's what they were supposed and how they were made. It was
everything.
It was really, really nice. And because of that, now he's one of our dining partners. So it's, I know, right?
Another fun show was the circus. The circus was circus art.
Okay.
Yeah, we swung on trapeze, tried to flip. None of us have upper body strength at Queer to the T.
Z did better than I was not successful, and there's
no one has core strength. There is a YouTube video
that I should now be on bars and poles.
Good. What did you learn from the circus?
I respect people that are performers. Hello.
Yeah, it's tough, right?
Soleil is not easy, people.
It's not easy.
No. I could never do that, ever.
And you know what? But I gave all of my co-hosts and my crew, I was like, we gave it a try. We gave it a good old college try.
And let's try twice.
and failed twice. It was good, but he invited us back, and we're getting a private lesson at Queer to the T to like, okay, this is how you do it, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm excited, but I know that the circus is not for me.
It might be for me though, because I like it.
Yeah,
I might take some classes
because Z is a kid.
So she may go join the circus.
Don't possibly. Watch out.
So you guys, you do a lot in the cultural community too.
Yeah.
Certain theater companies you've worked for, certain, I guess, events that you guys have gone to. I mean, you're getting the full experience here, and you're giving a lot back. Some of the companies that you've worked with, what do you do specifically, and then maybe tell us some of the places that you've...
We do a lot of media sponsorship because a lot of businesses and corporations want to, I think the lack of better phrasing, reach the gay dollar in a way. So they're just like, oh, Queer to the T, they have this following. Let me see if I put it on here. If you guys are interested in partnering with us, like we're partnering with the Painted Bride.
On Saturday.
For a mix and match event. So we're doing speed dating, professional and personal speed dating. We were also in New York and helped out with the first ever stud fashion show.
Oh, wow.
And that was something that I didn't necessarily know too much about. I was like, stud fashion show? What is going on? And
there's another one that's going to be followed up, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Our opportunities lead to other opportunities.
Right, yeah. And we did the Afro-Brazilian festival.
What was that like?
Well, the other co-host, went because she is island rooted. And some of that was a cultural thing in just for us to be there because necessarily being quote unquote queer is not accepted in that culture.
So hard. So for many cultures.
Us to be there was like, okay, we can infiltrate in a way this space. Yeah, and make it more welcoming for other people. So
great,
we did the Battle of Germantown.
Yeah. Everywhere. I had to choke on that. Like, that was real. The Battle of Germantown is where they, I guess, up in Germantown, they reenact this whole, apparently, battle. That was once there, red coats and blue coats.
Really?
Yeah.
Why Germantown?
Because I think that's where the battle happened.
And I was like, all right, George Washington was there, and it was great to be there and be asked as a radio show, and that was when we were like new. We were fresh.
It might have been a month in.
That's great. And you guys were originally based there in Germantown,
we were originally in Germantown.
Why did you choose that area for your base?
Because that's where the station was that had asked us to start a show because they wanted to reach a different audience. But we got too big for that little space that we were in, and we had a lot more higher demands, and so it's easier for us to be with our guests as opposed to trying to have the guests because we come to us.
It was more than X amount of people in the station. It was we couldn't get mics. We could
it's logistical thing. So you're based here in Center City, Philadelphia now.
In Giovanni's room.
What's Giovanni's room?
Giovanni's one of the world's oldest gay bookstore.
They have in-print books. They have online books. So yeah, Giovanni, it feels really homey in Giovanni's room. It's quaint. It's upstairs, downstairs, so it's.
And the owner is really, really nice and really, really sweet. He was like, of course gay radio can come here.
Yeah. Of course. There were stipulations that were done before Rachel Maddow comes on television so we can get home.
Really?
Yeah. He's like, wrap it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Serious.
You've gotten a lot of great quotes from folks that have watched your, been listening to your show and responding to it.
Yeah.
I just want to read a couple of these. These are testimonials. Yeah. Okay. So it says, T and her crew are three very naturally funny and engaging young women who riff off each other like they grew up together as sisters in the same crazy house.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, it was a fun experience on both shows, a very different sort of radio show on Shakespeare that one might expect. I felt immediately welcomed, relaxed, engaged, and open to the riff. Thanks so much for having us shake it on your show. So that's JJ Van Nal.
Oh, JJ. Yeah.
See, you partnered with Philadelphia Shakespeare Festival.
Yes, and the DVLF, I think the Delaware Valley Fund, and their focus on LGBTQ initiatives. And it was really great, though, to have those conversations. That was actually a two-part episode.
Yeah.
Because they did 12th Night and the one with the puppets. I forgot. Yes, thank you. It was really great to talk about the little nuances of queer identity within Shakespeare. And we went on. It was
because even I don't, and I know P and M probably can attest, don't know how embedded into our overall society queer life is.
Yeah.
When we went on the walking tour for Philadelphia, I had no idea some of the presidents and other people who have had queer male lovers, and it's just an amazing amount of history.
Yeah. How does that connect to Shakespeare? What's it that?
Well, everyone used to have the theory that they thought Shakespeare was gay anyway.
Or black.
Or black. Either way. But I think he talks a lot about just relationships in general and just gender. Gender is very specific in his writing and how gender relates to other genders within the text. Right. And it was interesting for Shakespeare to partner up with them because the season before, I believe, they did Hamlet with a female Hamlet.
That's right.
Because Hamlet was always described as this very effeminate male, very soft.
Right.
And it was something that was just not the status quo for a man in that particular, or male.
Yeah.
So it was good to partner with them because they're always taking his work and actually seeing how they could switch it so it's relatable to the time.
Do the guests come to you a lot, or
now
I know it's an outreach, for you guys, but now that people are starting to learn more and more about it, what kinds of things do you see happening that are different now from where you started in terms of getting guests?
Well, we're booked until who knows when now.
Yeah.
We don't have to fight every week to get somebody, or we haven't had a show in months where it was just us.
Right.
Okay.
And so now those are a treat. Where before
then you like riff again.
Okay, like same old. It's not that it was the same old Monday because we have hot topics where I was talking about what's hot or whatever. Yeah. But now because of Corey, he's our PR relations person. Literally, they'd be like, "Oh, sure, we'll do queer to the sea," and we are booked. People are like, "I want to go on the show. I want to go on the show. They're fun. Let's go." So like when we do have those moments, it's just like it's weird.
It's like, oh my God.
But it's a relief. It's like we don't have to be extra nice. We can just come in and be like, listen, I am not having a good day. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about that.
And that's what we'll do. And it becomes like a little vacation for us in a way. No, but we do love our guests. Like there's more people now coming to us than we go out to see them, which is really good. Because the first 3 months was just like, oh gosh, stress.
It was stressful.
Yeah. Who was going to be on this week?
To go in and
finding your friends.
Figure out.
Yeah.
How has this changed your lives? It's a hard question. I know.
It's like,
well, I never thought I'd be on radio. So internally, it's helped me see that I can traverse avenues that I never thought I would. Traditionally in my mind. I think it helps. Growing up, I didn't really see people like me, so it helps me to be an image that other little brown girls and boys can see and say, I can do radio. It's
Oh, my.
not just a select amount of, a select number of occupations I can go into. I can create. And I think that that's a big thing, is that to truly create something and then see it manifest is pretty dope.
Yeah, right.
And so, yeah, I guess a role model. I don't really consider myself a role model, but
you are.
But I guess I am.
You are.
Scary.
They're like people who know
role models are like old, and
there's a lot of pressure on role models.
It's like, but I think that's one of the cool things, is that even still, like, we're literally just being ourselves. Like, what you hear on the radio is not an affectation in any way. Like, we're not being phony. It's literally, we meet our guests and we meet them as strangers, but they leave as family.
Yeah.
And I think that's the changing quality for me. Because I'm an extroverted introvert. So when I have to be out, I'm out, and then when I'm in, I am in. There's just no getting inside here.
Right.
But meeting so many different people on so many different spectrums, and then having those social political conversations, and then just having those personal conversations, and seeing that we are the same. And it just helps. It goes back to the mission and why we do what we do every Monday. Right. It's just like we are the same, and if we are a platform for someone to spark that one little moment of like, okay, well, you may be gay, or you may be straight, you may be purple, you may be green, but we're all the same thing.
Right.
We share the same relationship issues, we share the same political views, like, or not. We're still human. And we are very different. Although aesthetically we look like two black females, but we have similar viewpoints on one thing and completely like what on another. Like we will challenge each other all the time. But the thing is that I don't know that she's not going to agree. So it keeps you up on your feet to, and to be able to be an adult and agree to disagree.
How do you think this has, it just has impacted the gay community?
I don't know. I don't know if I can speak for the whole.
Well, I believe there are multiple communities. Yeah. I don't really use the singular term. I think that it's given a different face to different communities. I think that oftentimes there are certain people that you just don't see represented all the time. Yeah. So I think it's given a diversity of representation to say that we can have masculine presenting female that does this. We can have. We're all bald, and so we all running jokes about people thinking we are sick, and so it gives conversation about expectations of females and what a female should look like. I think that people are not always prepared for 3 bald black females to walk in the door. Yeah. That's what I also realized in this process. When people hear queer to the T, it's the automatic assumption that it is 2 white males. Yes. So when we walk into black females, 3 black females, all low cut, just kind of like assured, and this is what we want to do, and we're still having fun. Like, we won't fight unless you want us to. And it changes the whole face of, oh, okay. So when I hear gay, what am I actually hearing? What am I internalizing for myself? So it's like we've shocked a whole bunch of people going in there like, oh hi, I'm TS from Queer to the T, and they're like, see the eye. They might keep a poker face, but you can look in the eye. They're like, are you sure? Like, oh, I'm positive. I'm certain. Like, I know I mean.
You're breaking stereotypes.
And we're determined not to be a black show. No, or a woman show or a female show. We're a queer show. We just happen to be black female.
Yeah. You have brought a clip for us, correct?
Yeah.
Can we get some setup on this and what we're going to be looking at?
Well, I mean, this clip, it's very short. It has photos of us when we're out at opening night events. And we're with actors and directors and different press people. I think the circus made it. I hope it did. The episode we talk about Tashawn is actually on there, a little clip of that having a food tasting with Brian and all that kind of stuff. And that's pretty much our anniversary party is on there because, like, we just turned a year.
Oh, yeah.
So
we just celebrated almost at your 100th episode,
almost at the 100th episode. It's like,
great.
Oh, my goodness, so much.
It's so crazy. I can't believe it's
I know. So, and you get to see the whole cast and crew in those particular photos. So all it is a big montage in 3 minutes of what we have done in a year.
That is terrific, and we look forward to watching it. So
thank you.
Let's find out more about Queer to the T.
Queer to the T, the #1
bubble fruit. Make a wish, she said, 'cause dreams come true. I said, brother, now, joy with pace, never feel alone again. Safety, world of war, to be with someone I adore, and conflicts with the great of sorrow, where it doesn't matter who that falls. All of this and so much more, made of the dreams I wish for. I'm living in a dream. Living in a dream, living in a dream, don't wake me up. I'm living in a dream, I'm living in a dream, I'm living in a dream, don't wake me up. Queer to the D, the number one queer sound. Yes, we are back. For our halftime listeners, you're listening to Queer to the T, the number one queer sound. I'm T.M. And we're in the house with
Brian Keezy.
Hello, hello. Yes. And don't forget to listen to our past episodes at queertothet.blogspot.com. And also, if you like what you hear every Monday we hear, please feel free to give us a donation from $1 to all your dollars. We gladly accept them all. And you can find
Well, I think that shows us the visuals to accompany what you guys have been talking on the show. And it gives everybody a sense of the cultural diversity that you bring, the various forms of entertainment that you address, and just really shows us a lot about who you guys are. So we get to see you in action as well as talking to you, and it's just been great having you guys on the show.
Oh, thank you.
So I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we'll definitely be listening. And,
please do.
and checking things out.
Cool.
And for the audience, if you guys want to check out Queer to the T, their website is queertothet.blogspot.com. So thank you guys very much today. I really appreciate it, and I hope that you as the viewing audience enjoyed the show. I'm sure you did. And so, again, you've been watching the Philadelphia Cultural Forum on CCPTv, the educational channel of Community College of Philadelphia. I'm Kirsten Quinn, and I'll see you next time.